Hi, this is AJ here, week 15, continued part 2. I learned that 1,889 physicians enrolled to sit for their boards in obesity medicine, so I read more about what an obesity medicine physician does. Physiological and psychological are two terms sounding similar. Their meanings are, however, very different because physiological means pertaining to physiology and psychology means pertaining to psychology. Dr. Ethan Lazarus, MD, an obesity specialist, said if I had a mantra to describe my life in this specialty, it'd be obesity is primarily a physiological phenomenon. This means that obesity is more complex than eat less, exercise more. Physiology means scientific study of function of living systems, which comes from the Greek origin physis, meaning nature and origin. Physiological means pertaining to scientific study of function of living systems. Physiology is the study of life, specifically how cells, tissues, and organisms function. Physiologists are constantly trying to answer key questions in areas ranging from the functions of single cells to the interactions between human populations and our environment here on Earth, the moon, and beyond. I think a physiologist invented Tirzepatide, named it Mounjaro, and made us all fall in love with him or her, probably a her, forever and ever. And we don't even know who they are. What other genius could have figured it all out? The study of life, specifically how cells, tissues, and organisms function. Physiologists are constantly trying to answer key questions in areas ranging from the functions of single cells to the interactions between human populations and our environment here on Earth, the moon, and beyond. It is of this, and then came Mounjaro, the name that is pronounced at least 4 different ways. We have Mounjaro, we have Manjaro, we have Mengiro, and Menjiro. Do you think the person who discovered GLP-1s was a woman? So my week 14 and 15 were broken into 2 different sections. My first section I posted the other day, and this section I had to redo because I questioned. I wanted to know who invented Tirzepatide. What genius thought of all of this stuff? And I did think it was a woman. I said it had to have been a woman. And so I couldn't find the answer, but when I was scrolling on TikTok, I came across a video by Dr. Argavan Salas that's spelled Arghavan, last name Salles. She revealed in her September 20th TikTok video that Svetlana Massoff was fundamental in bringing us medications and discovering GLP-1 agonists. Isn't that amazing? So go check out her TikTok and you'll see what I'm talking about. There's so much to learn about this whole thing. I mean, we can all go and do deep dives into every single aspect of it all. Not that we're going to understand every nook and cranny, but just to try to understand as much as we can is basically what it's all about and what we should be thinking of doing. I like to take the time to do the research and then I ask my doctor what's going on. So try to do the same thing. Just do the research, be observant of your side effects, write them down, journal as much as you can. There's so many things that can happen on so many different occasions. I'm talking about the weather, an ache or a pain, the stresses of your job, something somebody says to you at work, in the grocery store, while you're driving down the street. I mean, there are so many things that we just kind of take for granted, but if we took time a little bit more to try to understand exactly what it's all about, then maybe we would have a better perspective on life. A recap from week 13, I had mentioned my doctor saying that my husband should spot me while I'm weightlifting, and I told him that I'm not really lifting anything heavy, so that's really not important. But he was actually right because I did strain myself in doing my weights, and I felt it in my chest just before I got sick. And so I'll keep that in mind when working out in the future. The other thing that I gave a lot of thought to during week 14 and 15 was maintenance. Yes, maintenance. Think about it. I mean, I'm very early into my journey, but it's something that has to be thought about and something that will eventually need to be done. So, especially if I'm getting better, if I'm making myself better by taking the medication and doing everything that I'm supposed to do, and the medication's doing everything that it's supposed to do, I will one day be in maintenance. And I'm going to continue to keep working out. I just started back in week 15, in the beginning of week 16, actually. Um, And one more thing, I read a goal without a plan is just a wish. I thought that was pretty cool. So I wanted to leave you with this. So if your goal is to lose weight, you better have a plan to achieve that goal. If there's no plan, it will just be a wish because that goal will just go away. All right, my Mounjarians. Okay, united we stand, divided we fall. If it weren't for this Tirzepatide, we wouldn't know this community at all. Love you guys. Take care.